Huh? Yeah, we are. Okay, here's an overview of the backyard from right out the back door. And walking out on the patio. Okay, there's Coreopsis. There's a stalk of dill. I've got those all over the place. Okay, and down there is the tall autumn sedum. Elephant ears there on the corner. And that is all balsam that reseeded from last year. Here's my Rose of Sharon. It's had a problem with Japanese beetles. Okay, here's my sunflowers. And back there is sweet basil. That's kind of scattered throughout the yard too. Over here is hollyhocks. This is my patch of Russian sage, one of my favorites. And in the corner of the Russian sage garden is pussy willow, which is also another favorite of the Japanese beetles. They've eaten up quite a bit of the leaves, as you can see right around in here. I've got canna lilies scattered throughout the yard, and they're starting to come into bloom now. These are cosmos. And there's my Shasta daisies. Hey Felice, what are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? There's Bradford pear tree. And there's some purple cone flowers by the corner of the shed. Got a couple of trumpet vines. This is one that kind of just established itself on its own, growing on the corner there. And just down the fence is the one that I transplanted here from Plainfield. It's doing good. Here's my purple smoke tree. It struggled the first couple of years and looks like it's really starting to do pretty good now. And over here is Queen of the Prairie. It's my bald cypress tree. Japanese beetles have really been working on it, but it seems to handle it really well. Some mint growing at the base. And I've got some coral bells in there, and those are buttercups that are finished blooming. And this is a purple sea lavender. There's some onion, and this over here is wild strawberry, and some dead nettle. This house was overgrown with these yew bushes when we moved in, and I've trimmed them way back and kept them trimmed back. It's the amazing Paulownia tree that's in its third year of growth now. There's the fern that I dug from Judy's yard. It's doing well. Bugleweed on the corner of that garden. Myrtle's starting to take hold. This is a crabapple tree that was here when I moved in. I really don't like it because every year it has really terrible leaf blight and actually loses its leaves usually by this time of year, but I think maybe it's hanging on a little bit longer because it's been a very wet year. But you can see how a lot of the leaves are turning bad now, and it really does look pretty bad for a good part of the year. So I'm planning on cutting it down, so I planted this locust tree right next to it, and it's coming along real well. And it'll take, when I cut down the crabapple, that locust tree will grow approximately where it was and provide me some shade on that southwest corner of the house. Here's the back corner. A transplanted purple sage. That vine is a gourd plant, one of several I've planted various places. It's really bearing a lot of fruit. It's those colorful gourds that you see for fall decoration. That's mint that was given to me by the Pucketts. The other mint that I showed you by the cedar tree, or the cypress tree, was just from seeds that blew over from these over here, all the way across the yard. That's a butterfly bush that's, it always blooms late. It's really healthy. In another couple of weeks it should have blossoms on it. Another Russian sage, some sweet basil, Russian sage. Okay, all this right in here is strawberry. All this right in here is strawberry plants that were here actually when I moved in. They were only right here, just about maybe a couple feet square in the corner, and I've just kind of let them spread out. And they've spread out all through here, and actually jumped over to a few plants right here in this corner, and there's one way over there. And these strawberry plants I was getting like a pine a day for a couple of weeks earlier in the summer. There's a little bit better view of the locust tree. There's Felice, just taking it easy in the shade. How you doing there, Felice? Hey, how you doing? Huh? How you doing there? Yeah. Okay, moving to the side and front yards, right by the gate there. Some more purple cone flower. The mulberry tree right next to it just grew from seed within the last 3 years. That's the lilac tree, or lilac bush. And over here is where I used to have my compost pile, and it's overgrown into weeds. Gonna have to till that under later on this fall. It has really taken over this corner of the house. I had one stalk of this fountain grass that I split into 8 parts, and I moved 7 of the parts in a row right here, right near the property line between me and the neighbor. And the very one on the end, down that end, never came back, but the others are all doing fine, looking good. Got some canna lilies planted on the end. And in the middle are poppies. And they really were spectacular this year, beautiful. But they're just about gone now, just about done. I see, like right here, is a couple of them still hanging on. But they are pretty much done, but they'll reseed and come back next year. Now this smaller yellow variety of poppies that's grown down here on the end lasts a little bit longer. They're almost done too, but there's still more of those left than the bigger ones. Okay, this is a cherry tree that was here when I moved here, and I've been really working every year at trimming off the branches from the bottom, trying to get it to grow a little bit taller instead of wide, and it looks like it's doing really good, nice and healthy. Here's a good view of the house as it looks from the street. A prominent feature is this evergreen tree, which I'm not sure but think is juniper. And the base of that, if you can imagine how it would be with the branches all the way to the ground, the base of that spread almost to the house, so I lost a lot of my yards. So one of the first things I did when I moved here is I trimmed off all the branches to as high as I could reach. So I probably actually trimmed off more branches than what remained. But now I've got a tree that I can walk around easily. I think it looks good, and it seems to be doing really well, and it's nice and healthy, and it's the home for thousands of birds. At nighttime you can just hear all the birds chirping as they roost in there. Got some canna lilies starting to come up by the mailbox here. The ground cover there is a sedum that I've got throughout the front yard, scattered everywhere. I really like it. Those are red hot pokers there that are done for the year. I just transplanted them last fall, so they seem to be doing well. They should really look nice next year especially. And all along the side here are the tiger lilies that I transplanted last year, and they did absolutely great this year, but they're 99% done. There's just a couple of blossoms still hanging on, but they did really well. They're healthy, and I think I'm going to enjoy them year after year. This is one of the new large gardens I tilled up just this year in the front yard. In the foreground, in front of that fake rock outcropping, are cosmos that have grown up from seedling. It looks like probably they're ready to really take off now, and should be getting some blooms before the summer's out here. On top of the rock outcropping is one of the hundreds of varieties of sedum that will really make a nice ground cover carpet on top of that. It's really kind of like increased 10 times in size already from what I planted and just going strong. So hopefully by next year that hole, you won't be able to see any dirt on top of there at all. And it'll actually drape over the edges and start growing between the rocks on the front. Behind the rock outcropping is amaranthus. It's supposed to be amaranthus tricolor, and I planted it mainly because of the purple color you can see in the leaves. I had two batches. One batch I brought locally, which is this, and there was a more expensive, really supposed to be premium seed that I bought mail order, and I was disappointed in it because it's supposed to be the same thing, but there's no purple in it. It's looks like just a regular amaranthus variety rather than the tricolor. But it's really doing well, but I'm going to have to make sure I snip off the seed pods because I don't want the ones without the purple color in it to reseed themselves. Corner of the garden is some sweet Annie that I transplanted from the backyard. If I didn't pull up starts of that start themselves from seed, my whole yard would be sweet Annie. It really is a weed, but it's I really like it, and I just manage where I let it come up. Another of the new gardens, that's what's called catmint, growing up along the edge there. And the tall purplish plants are castor bean plants. They're poisonous, all parts of them. As a matter of fact, that's the plant that they make that deadly poison called ricin from. The preferred poison of the KGB whenever they assassinate by use of poison. There's my windmill that I got for $25 on sale at Cox's. That's foxglove at the base of the windmill. Started that from seed. This whole garden, as I said, is a newly tilled garden except for this corner here, which is well established. And one of the main things in this garden is the ivy, which is going to gradually just creep out into the rest of the garden. I've got some liatris that's starting to come into bloom there. Scott tilled up this garden between the maple tree and the juniper tree 3 years ago. That's sedum that grows everywhere along the base there. And scattered in there is what I believe is poison oak. I need to get to work on that. There's a few sprouts of that here and there. This is the original fountain grass that I got all those others that I showed you earlier from. This grass is it sends up really tall fronds in the fall, and it looks almost exactly like bamboo and is really hard like bamboo. I have dianthus planted throughout this garden all over the place, but most of it has finished blooming, but a lot of them are starting to come into a second bloom, like these two right here. So hopefully a little bit later I'll get a second bloom all over this garden here of the dianthus. This is irises that I transplanted from over on the other side of the house. I let them go and they got overgrown with weeds. So I transplanted them last fall, and this spring they never bloomed, but they really look healthy, and I think they just needed a year to get reestablished. I think they're going to do really good from here on out if I make sure to take care of them like I should. Okay, this is the garden on the south side of the house. Look who's over here. Who's over there? Hey, what's up? What's up? Yeah. These are sumac trees that I just I got one start from along the side of the interstate, and it's kind of establishing itself into a grove. I had right on the very corner of the house, I had a very big one, the biggest one, the original one, that got snapped by one of our windstorms a couple weeks ago. As you can see, I've got some hostas in the back there. The ground cover is pachysandra. There's some bleeding hearts that are finished for the year. There's a sumac starting to shoot up sucker up from the trunk of the one that I had to cut down that snapped. And on both sides of it, the ground cover you see is the starts of snow on the mountain that Judy gave me. So it's eventually going to take over that corner. And underneath that one sumac tree right there is Lily of the Valley that Grandma gave me a couple of years ago, and it has been really spreading and doing really well. Along the side of the house is maiden grass. A couple of years ago a friend gave us just a couple starts of it, and it's really multiplied and taken over. On the corner here, that's a Japanese fern, and some dead nettle is all growing around it. Here's the garden right by the front door. This is a Japanese maple, and behind it I've got a nice big bunch of my favorite Russian sage. This is just a basic roadside weed, but I really like it, so I kind of let it establish itself in this part of the garden every year. It's like a real small daisy. Like I say, you see this stuff just growing by the side of the road everywhere. By the edge of the house here, this ivy that I brought with me from Plainfield has just really found a home here. It seems to really thrive right here, and I really like it. And right here in the middle, this is a coral bells that I did not plant here. It apparently a seed must have blown over or was carried over from coral bells in another part of the yard. And right here it seems to have a much deeper purple than anywhere else, and I guess that's because it's planted in a shady spot instead of a sunny spot. So I think I may see if I can plant some of these somewhere else in the shade too, because I really like the way they look. Especially looks nice against that green ivy too. Well, time to go back inside, and this completes the tour of my gardens. Yeah, Felice is playing out in the snow. Get him. Okay, come on. Hey! Hey!
They can put that over there on the fire.
Think of that fall one?
You're doing a good job.
He needs some education, not want to come to school. A silly idea.
I've had enough schooling.
Have you?
You can never have enough school.
You're always learning, right, ma'am?
I'm sorry, I'm a school teacher.
You're a school mistress, huh?
I am.
Well, where do you school mistress
Tennessee.
at? Well, that's interesting. What part?
Memphis.
You're from Memphis, huh?
Well, I'm sure he enjoyed it.
Oh, I'm sure he did too, but that sauce is kind of spicy, so I think he's going to have a little bit of trouble later
Yeah,
on.
you're right. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, he took off somewhere.
Yeah, that door is there.
Yeah, he don't go far whenever it's time to eat. He's got some way of knowing it.
So,
Oh, Alice. It always looks like she's going to go. You're really studying that picture, aren't you? I'll let you want me to move. Doggy.
What are you after now? I was paying for the peas and carrots. So one was too small, one was too big. Please. Oh, good job cleaning up the floor. Very good job. You're hired, please. You're hired. Please.
You can be the maid.
Made it. Thanksgiving outfit on and everything.
Tuesday, bro.
Yay.
Who's this?
Adam.
Oh, Adam. We gotta do a chief.
It's been a while.
Has it?
Let's see. Oh, I know what it was. Maybe not. Let's see. Their mom wanted a van, and they had that van. You remember the van, the flat? Yeah. So she bought that one, and they bought that one. 'Cause she was looking for them. Here comes it.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Here comes competition.
A little bit.
Here comes competition. Uh-oh. Oh, I guess they get along.
Sniffing each other out.
Yeah. Itty bits of help. You're bigger than me.
Chloe, you like cranberries?
Hey, Adam.
Hi.
Who's hungry?
Everybody who's not.
Who's not? That's the question. No great grandma yet. And
They're all.
Hot.
Oh, you don't like matches?
I like beets.
No bed.
no.
Where's the gravy?
Careful, Bubby.
Hi, Bob.
Careful.
She's like that one shoe.
Move in there. Come on. All the women.
Even a little bit.
All the slaves get in.
Chloe. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Alrighty, that's good. Good, good. Hey, little bear.
Oh,
Cheers.
what about your clothes there?
Shipshewanna?
Huh?
Might be in a minute.
I think I got everything out there. Got the chips here. Just pass me around. Hey! Just pass these around. Judy, all the mashed potatoes and gravy are down here. You're at the wrong end. Oh, my wrong feet? Where you want me? I got more potatoes. Felice,
Oh, here, Chloe.
Wait, Chloe. Let's see Daddy.
Oh, I didn't have any apples left, really. I forgot we used them.
Come here, honey.
Anybody want chips? We could put them out there, I guess there's room.
Chloe, honey. Come here. No, no.
Gotta be here, you want
So
to roll?
what is
I got more rolls. Here, hot roll. Oops, take that.
Are you trying to go up the stairs on Christmas Eve? Felice.
Hi.
I'm gone.
Doggy. Doggy.
Doggy.
Doggy.
The heck is she gonna eat again? What is
Oh,
that?
yeah,
Ice
no.
cream?
No. Jello. Jello.
Chloe.
see where else? Gordy.
That's not you.
That's
Chloe
great. Oh,
and...
did you see the one where Gordy
No.
was woman's earrings?
No, no,
This one's yours.
no,
The woman who was working with the dude.
Please.
The woman
No.
who was working with Prairie salon to put
What's
them
in there?
no, no.
Play Keno in Reno in the casino.
on. In the
What's in here?
Okay. Oh.
Oh, it's Ricky, you wrapped it very well. She opened it too easy.
All right.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay!
Tear it up, Chloe. Here you got some more.
Who's that from?
That's from us. You want?
Oh, Chloe, ready to open some more?
We got room.
That one kind of
No!
Now some
Ah.
unwrap.
Want something new?
God, no, I just had a big dinner.
Oh my.
Okay.
Let's
You want me to get you started?
Not me.
Pull
It
it.
is.
Don't look like me. How you doing, Bob?
Okay.
Jim's got his gift on already. Wow.
We're definitely.
Hmm.
Huh? While you're there,
You got paper in there,
that's
girl.
your sack on the top. Here, in a chair.
What's inside of it, Haley?
It's,
I don't know yet.
So this is the world's smallest clock radio.
hmm
I got one of those too, Dad. Oh my God, my turn going here.
I'm going, baby.
it's scraps. It's a bunch of scraps. The Hendricks County Flyer, Haley.
It's like a doll.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's small.
You want paper off of it? Grab a big paper.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
It comes in the hat too. See, now her hair won't be messed up. Brittany, her head. Let me see that one that is for both of us.
All done, baby. Chomping on it. I'll watch me, girl.
That's pretty. That's real pretty. Where are you gonna keep that one? I like that. That looks like mom.
No, you don't touch, baby.
She's not that pretty, but I mean, she doesn't look like it. It's just like the hair. I don't care what mom says. Her eyes are
Goodbye. Yes.
Grandpa, get rid of the board. Maybe. Maybe.
Okay.
Hold on, Ernie. Jeff got rid of it for you.
This is yours too, ain't it, honey?
Adam?
Shake it up, baby.
Look at Felice.
Whoa, look at your mouth. Ah, you can't get away yet. Not yet.
I have this thing.
You're going to whip your head off. How about her other hand? Is it sticky?
Oh, they passed the rag.
It's sticky.
I don't know if I got her other hand good enough or not. Before she yanked it away. Just hold on. Here's a towel. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Jim will have to come and look over here. It's right up your alley.
I'll be around here in this.
I'm going to scoot around. Oh, okay, good. Good. Here's Chloe. Where you want to sit, Bob?
I don't care.
You can sit wherever you want.
I'll sit next to these girls back here
Yeah, how
somewhere.
you doing? Get it?
Watch it, ladies.
Funniest video. Funniest video. All right, you make it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get you folks something to drink?
Oh, she got
We do.
I would like it.
All right, sounds good. What can I get you? It does.
This is so good.
Raspberry juice. Diet Coke.
Oh,
All right.
So when all did you see at Shipshewanna? We just went, to the shop. Different shops around there.
That's neat, isn't it?
I like it in town. I like to go. Where did you eat? We didn't. Oh, okay. So we didn't start out until 11 o'clock.
Oh. Just there for the afternoon, yeah.
Kept going to popcorn. Yeah. Oh, the weather. Can I start now?
Okay.
Start, yes.
Yeah, you can now.
Can now? Thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate that. You seem awesome.
Oh, okay. You could try again. In a little bit, but you might know. Because that's hooked up to the new phone line. Because I know they were going to put the DSM on today. Oh, okay. I know.
It's rippling. I'm a neat unwrapper.
Don't be dainty.
Don't be dainty, okay.
I'm not sure why it would show that it was
Oh, yay. Thank you.
I had to get it white, they didn't have any black here.
Okay.
White's fine. Because most of
On
the
the
stuff
sheet it
that
said black. In fact, I didn't get it, I had to get it at Kmart.
Give me the paper. You're not going to see the paper.
Get her iron out.
I'm checking it out. I'm reading all about it. Recipe. I told you I'd make it. Yeah, you have to try it and see the same thing.
Did Jaretta make that? Is that who made it, I think? Jaretta?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
I think that's who it was.
I got my recipes at home. I got, well, I got some recipes. I don't know which ones they are.
Put a little face on it.
I know, I put all that stuff together. I figured that would be.
Well, I could have swore that you were the one that got it, Mary Ann.
What's happened in Pittsboro.
Because I remember you liked it. I thought you said you liked it, or Ken liked it with somebody, and you got it. Well, that could be
I have a
mistaken.
short-term memory also.
I could have been mistaken.
No, I now that you mention it, I do remember it was very good. Well, I'm trying to rib. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Yeah, really dramatically sing. Oh, yes. Definitely want to do it. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, dear.
What's that, the barbecue
No,
tool?
this is the 5-piece stainless steel utensil set.
Oh, okay.
Something
I
you
do
want to
too.
use.
Yeah. That's really nice.
Yeah.
The card is in there.
Yeah, I got the card stuck in there. This card goes in here. Get it on the road.
Yeah, good. Underneath there.
Oh, yes.
Here, just slip it down in there. Where you're gonna have every
Yeah,
imaginable tool that
non-stick and stick. I like these so much. I came close to buying a pair for you. You almost kept them?
I did. I did.
Yeah.
I told Kevin I was wrapping. I said, I really like these.
We eat a lot of salad.
Yeah, I do too.
Boy, we do too.
They're saying it might rain Sunday.
Yeah, yes, that's what I'm gonna say. During the birthday parties we were planning. Of course. Yeah, but it might not amount. I mean, most of the time now when it says it rain, you get like 4 drops. Yeah, okay, that's it. Yeah. Rain.
Ooh, barbecue set.
Ooh.
Helen? Yeah, that is nice.
Jim, you're gonna have
Yeah,
to
we
cook
grill a
steel.
lot too.
That's great. Do you have gas or do you
Memphis, you have to have barbecue.
We have 2 gas grills.
Oh,
He has one, I have one. There's no messing around. 3 tanks.
Oh, yeah, that's the way to do it.
You never run out then.
Whoa, big.
Oh, I know. Really?
That's
There's
for
some serious
burgers.
dangers. Morning wear. Thank you.
From you?
Yeah.
Oh, Corny, you just, I know, you just can't go wrong with Corny. Yeah, and I like the glass lids better than the, some of them have glass, some of them have those. Yeah, right.
That's nice. Here. Well, there's a bag, yeah. Yeah, I'll stick it in the bag.
Yeah.
Nice that Pam got to come up for.
Oh,
Yeah, really appreciate it.
I got a kick out of you at the lake when she came out. Of course, she didn't know that they were going to be there. We were sitting out on the boat, and Spring walks out. Oh, goody, we get a sneak preview.
Oh, look, Jim, a new blender
All right.
just for you. Thank you.
Looks like a nice one.
It's from Judy and Aaron and Chloe and Bob. And next week I'm gonna start getting rid of old.
That's so nice.
Never thought about bringing something to games to play.
Oh, definitely.
That's what makes it fun.
Start enjoying together.
That's right.
They come together.
Oh, we don't need to play.
No. You know. Thank you. That's right.
Myers.
And you know, we all.
Yeah.
So. Thank you.
That's what she said. Big knife. Well, Helen, are you?
You want to cut?
Oh, no.
No.
Camel cut.
Camel cut. Should we bring it down?
Judy, you want to cut?
Let's take a picture of the cake before we cut it.
I did already.
This will give you a little experience for cutting the weight.
That's right.
Use your finger, it's okay.
Is it okay?
Okay, here we go. Don't look. Okay. I've got a lot of weight, Jackson. They don't know. I'm scared. It's on video too.
Really? Oh no.
Probably see tomato, sugar and ice.
Yeah, she is.
Oh wait, you're
Yeah, we can just go for it. Do you do frosting?
Where are you gonna put the cake?
I don't know.
Well, they should give you a little.
Oh, okay, grab.
Probably have a little bit.
Whoa!
I'll take the whole thing home.
Okay, we got it. Did everybody get a piece?
Yeah, and then we'll cut one for Chloe later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll enjoy it.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you all for coming. Yeah, thank you. Great.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Good to see you. Yeah, you too. You're nice. Life is a party. What would we do without you?
I don't know what we do without her.
So fast.
She keeps us honest.
She does. Yeah.